New to RuneScape? This guide will cover all there is to know about basics of the game, what to do next after tutorial, and where you can find more help if you need it. So welcome to RuneScape, long-living MMO with a ton of activities to enjoy. The biggest problem new players encounter is where do you get started? This guide aims to cover the basics of how to play, what you can do in the world of Gielinor, and how you can climb your way up to be the greatest skiller or monster killer that ever lived. I highly recommend doing full opening tutorial before watching this video, as that will cover the basics of moving around, leveling up some skills and more. After that, come back here and learn what there is to do next. Movement in RuneScape is done through pointing and clicking. Click where you want to move and your character will run or walk over there. If there's an NPC you'd like to talk to, click on them to interact. This same applies for interacting with an object like a tree or to initiate combat with a monster like a goblin. Sometimes an object can have additional options for interaction, including an examine option, which you can find by right-clicking on it. RuneScape server cycle is the fundamental unit of time used to register your actions within the game. These units of time are often referred to as a game ticks. Each tick is equal to 0.6 seconds. There are numerous actions within RuneScape that operate on different amounts of ticks. For example, running covers 2 game squares per tick, while walking only covers 1 game square per tick. Client-side actions such as clicking an NPC or opening your bank are proceeded separately and thus remain unaffected by the tick. To help you find your way around, you can use the minimap at the top right of your interface. Minimap shows the area surrounding your character, including nearby NPCs, yellow dots, other players, white dots, and dropped items, red dots. There are also various icons that appear on the minimap to indicate what features are nearby, whether it be a bank, a furnace, or a fishing spot. And if you see something you like to move your character towards, you can do so simply by clicking on the minimap itself. When traveling to a new area, you may come across a lodestone on the ground. You can click on the lodestone to activate it, which will allow you to teleport freely back to the area using the lodestone network by clicking the H icon near your minimap. As you venture through towns and cities, you will come across other players who are on their own adventures. Why not to say hi? The in-game chat can be found at the bottom left of your interface. And from there, you can see all the messages sent by other players you've been near. You can send your own messages which are visible to players around you by pressing enter on your keyboard. And once you become friends with someone, you can add them to your friend list by right-clicking one of their chat messages and clicking add friend. After creating your character and finishing the tutorial, you are thrown right into the middle of the world of Gielinor. In a place called Burtrop, Gielinor can be overwhelming at first, but there's something for everyone to enjoy. If you love a good story, you can explore the rich history of the world and the 6 ages through some quests. If you like to hack and slash, there are some rabbits and cows nearby that can be killed for their items. If you are ready to grind some skills, there are some trees and fishing spots that can be interacted with, or if you just like exploring, you can venture out of Burtrop towards Taverley and the city of Falador. Let's talk about quests. Quests help you understand the history of Gielinor, and some grant you access to sometimes unique and powerful rewards, such as certain types of weaponry and armor, or even brand new areas. Most quests reward experience for completing them, so it can be a great starting point to level up your skills. You can find quests on the map by looking for an icon that looks like a blue star inside of a compass. By hovering over them on the world map, you can look at what the requirements are for starting them. You can also open a list of all quests by clicking the quest icon on the main ribbon interface on the bottom right corner of your screen. All of the quests in the game are split by difficulty and length, and some even take place chronologically before others. There are many different quest storylines for you to experience whenever you're dealing with vampires in Mauritania or investigating a mysterious plague in Ardogan. Here are some quests that are great for when you're just starting out in RuneScape. Wolf Whistle. Travel a short distance to Towerly and aid a group of druids, providing an introduction to the summoning skill. The Blood Pact. Fight some monsters in the Longbridge Catacombs and learn more about combat in RuneScape. Cook's Assistant. This is a classic RuneScape quest where you gather ingredients for the chef of Longbridge Castle. Short and sweet. The rewards will help you with your cooking skill. Gertrude's Cat. Help Gertrude find her lost cat Fluffs. Get a furry little friend to accompany you in return. One piercing note. The nuns of the Abbey of Saint Elspeth needs your help in solving a mystery. A shadow over Ashdale. Explore a beautiful island of Ashdale and be rewarded with some experience to help level up your combat skills. What's mine is yours. Learn more about mining and smithing skills as you help out a dwarf named Doric. Eventually, you will become a renewed adventurer in Gielinor, and as your skills progress, you will be able to take on some quests with huge rewards. Skills are used almost everywhere in RuneScape, and as you perform skilling actions in the game world, you will be gaining experience and unlocking more items. There are your character's trainable abilities. Leveling certain skills, such as Slayer, provide more places to explore and more quests to complete. Activities which train skills in RuneScape range from catching fish to delving deep into the depths of dungeons. During the tutorial, you learn about some of the basic skills in RuneScape: fishing, woodcutting, fire making, cooking, mining and smithing. But there are many more that you can level up. Free players have access to 17 skills, while being a member grants you access to all 29. For players that are interested in combat, it will be important to not only consider improving your combat skills like attack, strength and defense, but also to improve secondary skills: prayer, herblore and summoning. These skills will help you in combat, as you can brew new potions to give you the edge over the enemies, summon familiar who can fight on your behalf or protect yourself from certain attacks. Like most fantasy worlds, Gielinor is inhabited by a variety of creatures, some of them friendly, many of them not. From dungeon rats to dragons, killing these monsters provide valuable experience in combat and the ability to sell their loot for money. Monsters each have their own combat level, as indicated by the number shown above their head when you hover over them or right-click them. This vary from easy level 1 rats to harder level plus 60 dragons and beyond. You also have your own combat level, which is a general indicator of how well your stats compare to the monsters you want to fight. Your combat level increases throughout training attack, defense, strength, prayer, summoning, magic, constitution, range and necromancy, usually by killing monsters with the respective equipment. Leveling up your skills unlocks more armor for you to wear and weapons for you to use, which can help you kill stronger monsters. When you first jump into the world after the tutorial is finished, your character will be quite weak and only able to wield basic weapons and armor, such as bronze equipment. By killing weaker monsters such as cows, goblins and chickens, you can slowly increase your levels and gain the ability to wear even higher tier equipment. Soon, you'll be ruling the world with a dragon longsword, or even a weapon as mythical as a god sword. The main combat system in RuneScape revolves around action bars and a system called Revolution. When you attack a monster, your character will automatically cycle through abilities on your action bar to deal damage, apply bleeds and stun. All abilities have a cooldown and generate adrenaline. Adrenaline allows you to use higher tier abilities known as threshold and ultimate abilities. These usually deal greater amounts of damage compared to basic abilities, and can even deal damage to multiple enemies around you. You will have access to a number of action bars that you can switch between depending on the combat style that you're using or the situation that you're in. Each action bar can have a number of abilities on them, which you can activate manually by using hotkeys on your keyboard. But if you have Revolution enabled, then the game will automatically cycle through them, indicated by a yellow border around the slots on the action bar that will be cycled through. Some monsters have certain weaknesses that mean that certain weapons are more effective against them. For example, you might find that attacking a hellhound with a slash weapons will do more damage to them than shooting at them with a crossbow. A good way to level up your combat skills is to train Slayer. By speaking to a Slayer master, you can be assigned a task to kill a specific number of a type of monster, which will not only grant Slayer experience, but also experience in whatever combat skill you are using along the way. As a note, some Slayer master will require a specific combat level. The list of Slayer masters listed below are the best for learning the ropes, Tuarel and Jaqueline. While traveling around Gielinor, be careful of an area called the Wilderness. The Wilderness is a dangerous area on the north side of the world, where all monsters are aggressive. Of course, there is no risk without reward, so be aware that some of the best training methods for skills in the game may require you to venture into this dangerous area. The Stronghold of Security is a great place to train your combat early on, learn about keeping your account secure, and get some nice rewards along the way. The Stronghold is full of monsters that get stronger the deeper you go. Make sure you're well prepared with food and strong equipment before you enter. A total of 10,000 coins and a choice between 2 different stylish boots are earned from all 4 levels, as well as the 4 emotes: Idea, Stomp, Flap, and Slaphead. Money, or gold pieces known as GP, is the main currency in RuneScape and used for purchasing and selling items in the game, so you'll need to accumulate a lot of it to progress throughout the game. You can primarily earn money from quest rewards, selling monster drops, or selling items made through training skills. Some simple methods from making your first big bucks in RuneScape can be found in my other videos, as I cover low level and high level money makers. However, here are some tips to keep in mind while playing. When monsters drop coins on the ground, you can see a rough visual indication of how many coins are in the stack. If there are only a few coins on the ground, it won't be worthwhile further playing into the game. If there's a bigger stack, then the monster could have dropped thousands of coins, and you should definitely pick them up. You can sell items gained while training your skills, such as logs from woodcutting, fish from fishing, and ores from mining. Sometimes it will be useful to keep some of these items to allow you to train up other skills. For example, logs could be used for fletching or burned to raise your fire making level. Always weigh up the value of an item with how useful it is to your progression in the game. If you are chopping oak logs and you can already burn new logs, it's probably worth selling the oak logs instead of keeping them. Keep an eye on your bank. At every point throughout your experience with RuneScape, your bank will slowly become full of junk that you're hoarding from previous quests, monster fights, or skilling. In bulk quantities, a lot of these items can become valuable and give you extra boost. The primary way of buying and selling items in-game is using the Grind Exchange, which is located northwest of Varrock. By interacting with one of the booths at the GE, you can create, buy or sell offers for specific items and see their current price. The price of an item on GE is a good indicator of how much the items is actually worth. When you list an item on GE, as soon as a buyer tries to buy that item for your price or higher, your transaction will complete and you can collect the coins from GE. Or at any bank by right-clicking a bank booth and clicking collect. If you try to buy an item on GE, you will buy it as cheap as possible, no higher than the price you entered. Trading directly with other players in the game couldn't be easier. You can right-click another player and click trade to start a trade with them if you find a worthy buyer. But always check to see what the current price of an item is on the Grand Exchange first to ensure you're getting the correct payment. RuneScape is a free-to-play game, and a lot of content in the game can be accessed without paying for a membership subscription. However, if you are enjoying the game, paying for membership will allow you to access even more skills, monsters to kill, and areas in the game for you to explore. You also get access to members-only worlds and complex stories in the form of quests. Membership costs a fixed amount of real money a month and can be purchased directly through Steam, mobile store, or the RuneScape website. If you prefer, you can pay for membership using in-game money too, which will be possible as you grind through the later levels in-game. This requires purchasing bonds, which you can find on the Grand Exchange. While the RuneScape community is full of pleasant and helpful people, you may come across some less pleasant players during your time in Gielinor. Always be on a lookout for anything that looks like a scam or maybe a phishing attempt on your account. If anyone asks you for a personal information, such as your login or personal details, you should not give them this information. You may also see messages with URLs in the chat box. Be cautious when visiting those websites if you don't recognize the links, as they could be dangerous. So you've been playing RuneScape for a little while now. You're leveling up your skills, exploring the world, making friends, and doing quests. But what should you work towards next? If you've been enjoying quests, one of the hardest quests in free-to-play is Dragon Slayer. It involves navigation your way through the abandoned island of Grandor, where the Dragon Elvarg awaits you. This will be a challenge, so make sure you have a good combat level, strong weapons, and sturdy armor before giving it a go. Speaking of armor, what type of equipment are you currently using? Rune equipment, made of runite ore, is some of the strongest early game melee armor available. You can either make it yourself with high enough mining and smithing levels, or purchase it with your hard-earned gold. If you are more of a skiller, you can try working towards accessing guilds, special buildings across the world, which can only be accessed once you have enough experience in their relevant skill. They can provide a good space for training up certain skills throughout mid-levels, and you may find other people training the same skill there too that can help you out. A guild you can access early on is the Cook's Guild at level 32 cooking. It has cooking ranges, a windmill, and water sources nearby for you to cook to your heart's content. To help progress your skills faster, there are numbers of boosts and can help you. For example, wearing certain equipment can increase your levels in certain skill, allowing you to access higher level content before you reach the required level. Some boosts can provide extra experience, such as portable skilling stations which can be placed down by other players for anyone to use and provide an increase to the experience you get while skilling with them. If you are a completionist, completing achievements are a great way to explore what RuneScape has to offer. Level up and get some unique rewards in return. The Lumbridge achievements are a good start to see what achievements are all about. They come in beginner, easy, medium, and hard difficulties, so there will be something you can do whatever level you are. See if you can complete them all. Want to take a break from the traditional skilling and killing of RuneScape? You can check out the various minigames and distractions and diversions dotted around the map. A lot of these provide experience in several skills, cool rewards, and allow you to have some fun with friends. Minigames can usually be accessed as often as you like, while D&Ds are accessible on a schedule. There's a lot to do in RuneScape, and this guide only provides a small insight into the kind of things you can expect to find in-game. If you get stuck at any point, don't worry. The RuneScape Wiki is the most extensive source of information on the game out there and can help you with the common questions like, what is that item? Or where do I find this monster? Check out the wiki for more help. You can also access the wiki at any point straight from the game by typing /wiki into the chat box. So thanks for watching this guide. I hope I helped you a bit and have a great time getting started in RuneScape.